We are observing the situation very closely and working at developing a protocol that works for Nigeria.
3 suspected COVID-19 in Lagos confirmed negative as Minister of Health Osagie Ehenry updates Nigerians.
These are just a few of the initiatives to ensure an empowering and inclusive business environment for our small businesses.
4,000 entrepreneurs in Borno State benefit from National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Scheme. Issues of security and economic development take center stage. Northeast and South-South governors meet in their respective regions. Good evening and welcome to the news at 9 on NTA. I am Jumma Yusuf. I'm riding the news train with Jennifer Igwe in Lagos and Kemi Oshin is in Ibadan. Thanks for joining us. A total of 21 suspected cases of the novel coronavirus have been identified across 4 states comprising Lagos, Ogun, Kano and the FCT. Out of the suspected cases, 3 were negative. Minister of Health, Dr. Osagie Ehenry, stated this while updating Nigerians on the global pandemic. Health correspondent Rabi Abdullah has a report.
Nigeria's current coronavirus status is one the Minister of Health says does not call for panic.
We are observing the situation very closely and working at developing a protocol that works for Nigerians but does not restrict activities unnecessarily and does not restrict normal business needlessly. So if there's need, we change the protocol. In the meantime, since we have only 1 case and that case is well defined and is receiving treatment, we haven't seen any other threat. We do not see any reason to bring additional to join other countries in creating this ban or that ban.
In addition to following up the 61 contacts of the index case, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Port Health Services, he explained, are also in touch with 55 out of the 148 passengers on the manifest of the index case flight for any development of possible symptoms of COVID-19.
We also continue to closely compare Nigeria's infection prevention and control measures with what obtains in other countries, and I can confirm to you that our standing in Nigeria is among the best.
The minister disclosed that the sum of 1.67 billion naira had so far been expended on prevention, response and containment measures, appealing for more financial support from development partners and the private sector. In response to the scarcity of hand sanitizers brought about by the global scourge, the NIPRID presented a product developed by the Institute.
We're now working on cataloging a list of phytomedicines and trying to model them against the coronavirus to quickly try and identify those that may have activity against the coronavirus. Another thing we're doing in NIPRID is ramping up our activity on immunomodulating phytomedicines that have immunomodulating activity, because this could be an adjunct treatment for coronavirus.
Over 80 countries have so far confirmed COVID-19 cases. In Abuja, Rabi Abdullah, NTA News.
As the continent of Africa grapples with over 30 reported cases of coronavirus, the West African Health Organization has put together a 2-day simulation exercise to strengthen regional preparedness to tackle the COVID-19 epidemic in the region. Olushe Adeago reports that the meeting drew health experts from within and outside the West African region.
As cases of coronavirus increase around the world, health experts across Africa are meeting here, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, putting in place modalities to build epidemiology capacity for outbreak response within the public sector within the region. A training organized by the West Africa Health Organization WAHO in collaboration with Africa Center for Disease Control and African Feed Epidemiology Network is a stimulation exercise to build the capacity of health workers and caregivers for an adequate regional rapid response to coronavirus outbreak.
It's meant to be to capacitate the existing capacity in the region so that it can be readily deployable in case we need it to be deployed into different countries in the region.
An Italian Giampiro Badazzari, Senior Technical Advisor at GIZ, who came into the country 4 months ago, tells me how he feels this initiative will be serving the ECOWAS region and the entire Africa from not just the COVID-19, but also other epidemics.
We are considering fictitious scenarios where there is an outbreak, and so the whole exercise is to see how we are able to respond at the moment.
Participants also exchange ideas on surveillance system, human resources, clinical system, and laboratories as it relates to their country with approaches used for cases found. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
The emergence and spread of COVID-19 has taken a toll on the global economy, and the effects can be felt in Nigeria. Amaka World reports that some importers and traders have been mourning the challenges of accessing certain retail commodities from China.
Data from the World's Top Exports website shows that Nigeria imported about $36.5 billion worth of goods in 2018 alone. China is said to be the largest exporter of goods into Nigeria. Following the outbreak of coronavirus, I visited various markets to feel the pulse of some traders who sell goods from China.
Some of us that are doing group page are booking goods from China. We are unable to do it for the past a month plus now. Even the goods that we have sent, we are unable to come back. Even the people that we send there, they are being quarantined in some other countries to confirm that they don't have the virus because everybody's afraid.
I'm talking about China right now because of the coronavirus. We are afraid to go there.
Daniel Ebere disclosed that it takes about $46,000 to import a container of textiles from China, and about 100 containers of textiles measuring 20 feet are imported monthly into this market, but these have declined.
If our government can kind of expose all the industries we have here, which I know we have, and empower them to produce what we can use, I'm telling you, all this importation will die naturally because we want to buy from Nigeria company.
The list of items or goods imported from China is endless. On the other hand, some traders like Damilola Awaje, who sells some of the most sought-after preventive kits, are experiencing a boom.
The small one is 3,500, the big one is 5,000 naira. The nose cover is now 8,000 naira. When my kids come back from school yesterday, she was telling me, Mommy, my teacher said she has to use 1 nose mask per day. And I told her, I will have to sew Ankara for you.
The move to contain the spread of the disease will consequently impact on the economy positively. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
In another development, Senate Committee on Health is demanding for the provision of dedicated infectious disease ambulances at all international airports in Nigeria as part of emergency response to any case of coronavirus detections. Chairman, Senate Committee on Health and that of Primary Health and Communicable Diseases made the demand during their oversight to the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, to ascertain its response readiness to the disease.
The committee at the arrival tunnel of the airport met medical personnel screening and carrying out documentation of people. They also visited the secondary screening and holding rooms for any suspected case where they expressed satisfaction with the procedures. The committees, however, observed that this is not replicated in other airports, stressing the need for similar procedures and checks at all the international airports across the country, as well as the provision of infectious disease ambulances.
We've conversed with the airport authorities, officials, as well as the director from the Ministry of Health. And I'm sure within what we are looking, within the budget that will be done. But we also said that it's not only for Abuja Airport. We want it in all other 5 points of entry identified.
At Lagos, we discovered most people were not even given papers to fill inside the plane. We raised the issues that they must fill it inside there before coming down. Now we have papers. They are over there.
We thank God they have acknowledged the improvement made in Abuja Airport.
The management was, however, asked to maintain computer database records of travelers rather than hard copy documents to avoid any loss.
As the efforts to check coronavirus intensifies in Rivers State, authorities of most public places are working towards improved sanitary conditions. They appealed for long-lasting solution to prevent spread of the disease. Ijoma Ogoke has the situation report.
There is intensive efforts on sensitization for improved hygiene in public places. Screening of passengers is ongoing at Port Harcourt International Airport.
Like if you are coming from Italy, definitely the Western.
I trust Nigeria on this because I can remember vividly during the time of February they take precaution, and what I'm seeing here is quite impressed.
Since the outbreak of Lassa fever and coronavirus, strict compliance to regular hand washing and sanitation of environment, some people affirmed, have become a routine.
I wash my hand like 3 times when I start sampling, and after I sample my market, before I eat, I wash.
School authorities and other institutions are advised to adopt necessary measures to ensure safety of its environment. In Port Harcourt, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
And from Maiduguri, awareness and personal hygiene is now being promoted in Borno State as an important step to COVID-19 prevention in a zone where no suspected case has so far been reported. This is in addition to efforts by the state government to equip a designated center for possible isolation and quarantine. Yagum Subukar has an update.
I'm right here at General Abakari newly constructed general hospital that has been designated as an isolation center for any suspected case of COVID-19 that might arise in Borno. But I have here with me Director Disease Control with the State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, who will shed more light on level of preparations made so far by Borno State government.
We have commenced training of our health workers, both at the secondary and primary healthcare levels. And we have also emphasized on hand washing by placing hand washing facilities in most of public places and strategic places. You can also see behind me the level of preparedness for the isolation center. So should there be any coronavirus case in the state, we are ready to tackle, inshallah.
Currently, there's a high-power health committee in place that receives 24 hours update at 4 p.m. every day on preparations and response to any case or outbreak in the state.
Public institutions in Benin City are complying with the advice of the Federal Ministry of Health on the provision and use of sanitizers in public institutions across the country. Adogbeji Ojegba was at the Benin airport and some public schools in the city and reports.
A visit to Olua Primary School, Benin City, revealed that sanitizers have been placed in strategic places for pupils who may need to keep themselves clean.
The water stand, which they use to wash their hands, and sensitizers. Because we don't need coronavirus in our system, we have to wash our hands before we enter the school. During long break, they still wash their hands.
Keep my environment clean, to wash my hand whenever I finish cooking. That is what I know.
At the Benin airport, the situation was not different, as I was made to pass through the screening exercise before I and other passengers were granted access into the airport. Some who were not aware were politely stopped and made to undergo the medical checks, certifying them clean to go into the airport. In Benin, Adogbeji Ojegba, NTA News.
To other matters now, President Muhammadu Buhari has granted audience to the Iranian ambassador to Nigeria, describing the phenomenal growth recorded by the Middle East country as marvelous. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Morteza Rahimizaki, was in the State House on a farewell visit. President Muhammadu Buhari said despite its status as a developing country, Iran has indeed come of age, recalling his visits to Iran as oil minister in the 1970s and as a civilian president. The Nigerian leader lauded the relationship between the two countries, describing it as mutually beneficial. Apart from the long-standing bilateral ties, which continue to be deepened and expanded, Nigeria and Iran also cooperate strongly at international fora such as the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, and the Non-Aligned Movement. President Buhari wished the ambassador, who spent about 4 years in Nigeria, greater successes in his future endeavors. Ambassador Moteza Rahimi Zaki stated with pride that his tour of duty in Nigeria is very successful. He described Nigeria as a very strong country in Africa with bright prospects for a sustainable future. He commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the nation's strides in the war against corruption and revival of the economy. The envoy said Iran had a lot of experience to share with Nigeria in the fight against insurgency, expressing the belief that the terror war would eventually be won. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
34,000 entrepreneurs drawn from the 171 wards of Ebonyi State are to benefit from the National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Clinic. Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, who launched the scheme in Abakaliki, called for synergy among the states to enable the program thrive. State House correspondent Jide Onifadi has the details.
The state is one that prouds itself to be the salt of the nation, and much is happening here. The people are predominantly traders and farmers and are here at the MSME clinic showcasing their products and also meet one-on-one with the regulatory agencies and relevant organizations.
The clinic is going to go around all states. It's going to be felt by every nook and corner of this nation.
Even down to the pure water bottling companies, we've done a lot for them here in Ebonyi State.
At the moment, it's very awesome. If you turn around, I particularly am surprised that Ebonyi can bring this population.
The people are hardworking, but most of them are still struggling to get off the ground.
Very happy, because most of the time we have not seen it so real as it is in this government.
The facility I enjoyed was the BOOTFO, the BOI funds for women.
Because some agencies are doing their jobs, while some, I wouldn't know how to describe them.
The MSME clinic, where we have the combination of both the federal and states on the same stage, indicates good omen for the traders and hope for a better time.
These are just a few of the initiatives to ensure an empowering and inclusive business environment for our small businesses. We, as the federal government, will do our part. But I believe that it's important that we emphasize that we must all work together, both the federal, state governments, local governments, as well as the civil society groups, the business groups, the chambers of commerce. All of us have a bounden duty to ensure that we work together, to ensure that small businesses thrive and that all of the work that we're all each trying to do is coordinated for the benefit of our people.
To understand the leadership challenges in our country today. The job is always very easy when you are not the one doing it. But I can see that the grace of God upon you, your comportment, perseverance and tolerance, and your commitment in partnership with our dear President, they have contributed so much in the stability of this country.
The quality of Nigerian products, is not debatable. One thing that has been the challenge is packaging, and now we are really seeing an improvement in that area. From Abakaliki in Ebonyi State, I'm Jide Onifade, NTA News.
This is the Network News on NTA. We'll take some messages now. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters invites the general public to its public hearing on the Protection from Internet Falsehood and Manipulation and for Related Matters Bill 2019, Monday, 9th March 2020. Time, 11 a.m. prompt. Venue, Conference Hall, 022, New Building, National Assembly, Abuja. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Senator Ahmed Ibrahim Lawal, President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Stakeholders and interested members of the public are requested requested to submit 20 hard copies and a soft copy of memoranda to the committee's secretariat, Realm 2.4, second floor, Senate Wing, White House, National Assembly Complex, Abuja, and or before Friday, 6 March 2020, or submit at senatecommitteeonjudiciary@gmail.com. For further inquiries, please contact the committee's secretariat on 0809-7519-432. Senator Michael Opeyemi Bamidele, Chairman, Announcer.
The Universal Health and Economic Empowerment Foundation, in partnership with Noble Gate Projects Limited, presents the Maiden National Agricultural and Industrial Trade Fair with the theme Economic Recovery and Growth of the Agricultural and Industrial Sector in Nigeria. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. Chief host, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja, Malam Mohammed Bello. Chairman of the occasion, Senator Abdullahi Adamu. Guest of honor, the 36 state governors, ministers, heads of agricultural research institutes, and all local government chairmen. Venue, Old Parade Ground, Area 10, Abuja. Date, Saturday 7th March to Sunday 16th March 2020. Time, 9 a.m. daily. For sponsorship details, call 0701-234-5727 or 0705-345-3144, or visit our website www.uheef.org. The Maiden National Agricultural and Industrial Trade Fair, Abuja 2020. Come and be part of development.
Banter better with Coca-Cola and stand a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to the UK to watch a live Premier League game or your share of 400 million naira in instant cash prizes. Simply buy a bottle of Coke or Coke Zero. Look under the cap for your unique code and dial *4255 *55 your unique code hash to stand a chance to win. The more Coke you buy, the better your chances of winning. See back labels and posters for more details. Promo starts March 1st and ends May 31st.
The leadership of Area Consultative Forum ACF postpones its 20th anniversary celebration scheduled to hold on the 11th and 12th of March 2020 in Kaduna. The decision was taken following renewed attacks by bandits and terrorists on communities across the north, as well as the threat of the deadly coronavirus. ACF therefore regrets the inconveniences caused its special guests, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, General Yakubu Gawan, GCFR, Chairman ACF Board of Patrons, guest speaker Professor Tijani Bande, President of the United Nations General Assembly, Senate President Ahmed Lawan, members of the ACF Board of Patrons, governors of the 19 Northern State, particularly the Governor of Plateau State, and Chairman of Northern State Governors Forum, Simon Bakola Long, as well as the Chief Host, Malan Nasser Ahmed Erufai, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, including traditional rulers and chiefs. A new date will be announced in due course. Announcer, Senator Aliumaga Takadawa Mako, Chairman, Organizing Committee.
National Sports Festival, Edo 2020, the heartbeat of the nation.
This March, the heartbeat of Nigeria, Edo State, welcomes all 36 states and the FCT to the 20th National Sports Festival, Edo 2020. Get ready for the greatest sporting event ever, hosted in Nigeria from the 22nd of March to the 1st of April. As the best athletes from across the nation showcase their sporting talent in 39 exciting sports. And in the spirit of the games, His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, will light the festival torch at the opening ceremony that will take place at the newly refurbished Samuel Obumaga Stadium, Benin City. The chief host of the festival is His Excellency, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, the Governor of Edo State. Edo is ready. It's game time.
Edo 2020.
Coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. What you should do and what you should know. What are the symptoms? Runny nose, sore throat, headache, fever, cough, feeling of being unwell. Human coronaviruses or COVID-19 is most commonly spread from an infected person to others through the air by coughing and sneezing, close personal contact such as touching or shaking hands, touching an object or surface with the virus on it, then touching your mouth, nose, eyes without washing your hands. A COVID-19 infected person is most infectious when he or she is displaying symptoms. The most effective way to protect yourself from the virus is to practice good personal hygiene. Wash hands with soap under running water or use an alcohol-based sanitizer if water is not available. Avoid touching your face with your hands. We must also protect others. If we are sick, we should rest and recover at home as much as possible. If we need to go out and see a doctor while sick, we should wear a surgical mask to protect others from being infected. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Thanks for rejoining us. OPEC to recommend to OPEC extending new cuts to end at 2020. The 8th meeting of OPEC and its allies, known as OPEC in Vienna, Austria, just ended. Feelers reaching us indicates that OPEC's plan for deep and prolonged oil cuts were derailed on Friday as non-OPEC Russia refused to support the move. The argument was that it was too early to predict the impact of coronavirus outbreak on global energy demand. However, OPEC Secretary General says the group remains optimistic despite the lack of consensus as negotiations will continue immediately with both parties. Justice Monica Dongban-Memsem has been sworn in as the acting President Court of Appeal. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Muhammad, administered the oath of office to her in Abuja. Vera Chuoba reports.
Justice Monica Dongban-Memsem, who hails from Plateau State, took her oath of office amid a crowd of admirers, family, friends, and the legal profession. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Muhammad, who administered the oath of office, described Justice Dongban-Memsem's appointment as highly deserving. He said her appointment is based on merit, competence, and qualification, having served the judiciary in various capacities with an impeccable record of service to her credit. The Chief Justice of Nigeria advised her to remain focused and discharge her duties with diligence.
I will therefore urge you, please, my Lord, to continue with your charisma, your good attitude.
Having served as Deputy Registrar and High Court Judge in Plateau State, the State Governor Simon Lalong and the company of his KB State counterpart Abubakar Bagudu were present to share in her joy.
I congratulate her. I also congratulate the judiciary.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, expressed confidence that she would discharge her duties excellently. Until her appointment, she was the presiding Justice Court of Appeal Enugu Division. Justice Monica Dongban-Memsem, who is an authority in criminal and civil procedure law, has made invaluable contributions to the development of the legal profession in Nigeria. In Abuja, Vera Chumuba, NTA News.
To security matters now, Nigerian Air Force has taken its medical outreach to communities in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State who were recently attacked by bandits. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukwu reports.
Maniru Rabi, who survived gunshots in the recent attack at Kerawa village, Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. Like other members of the community who are still in shock over the government attack, Maniru is out to receive medical attention courtesy Nigerian Air Force.
They shot me on the hand. I am in severe pains.
I ran for my life, and as a result of that, I developed chest pain.
The medical outreach, which aims at providing relief to the affected communities, is also a deliberate effort by the Air Force to promote civil-military relationship for information sharing on security.
Because our troops are taking part in the operations, ongoing operations to eradicate the bandits, we need to also establish a relationship with these locals.
For Maniru Rabiu and other survivors, the attack dealt a heavy blow on the affected communities. An improvement in mobile telecommunication network to the area will facilitate quick response in case of any eventuality. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukwu, NTA News.
The Nigerian Air Force says its sustained onslaught against Boko Haram terrorists in the northeast under Operation Decisive Edge has continued to yield results. In a statement by NAF Director, Public Relations and Information, Air Commando Ibikunle Daramola, the latest of these was recorded on 5th March 2020 when the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole obliterated a terrorist camp at Al-Hafasi in the heart of the Sambisa Forest in Borno State. The attack was undertaken following confirmatory intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions which established that several compounds in the settlement were being used by the terrorists to house and train their fighters. The subsequent airstrikes obliterated most of the structures, neutralizing some of the Boko Haram occupants. The Nigerian Air Force says it will continue to operate with surface forces to destroy all remnants of the terrorists. The federal government and the United Nations have constituted a national policy dialogue forum aimed at providing effective coordination in addressing humanitarian crisis in the country. Amina Baba Suleiman reports that the forum consists of all relevant stakeholders and will be coordinated by the Ministry of Humanitarian and Disaster Management and Social Development.
Nigeria is housing substantial number of aid workers providing support to the government in managing humanitarian crises occasioned by insurgency, conflicts and natural disaster. A national policy dialogue forum is therefore constituted with a view to providing proper coordination in the provision of services according to the international standard.
My colleagues in the UN.
Sadia Umar Farouk, the Minister of Humanitarian, Disaster Management and Social Development, inaugurated the Policy Dialogue Forum.
We have consulted with counterparts in Africa and Europe as part of our efforts to understand existing structures and apply global best practices in line with our priority to design and implement early warning systems for disaster mitigation in Nigeria.
The forum consists of all the relevant stakeholders, including United Nations agencies, UNICEF, FAO, and World Food Programme.
We must strengthen capacity of government delivery systems and mechanisms and develop a new model to bridge humanitarian and development by focusing on preventing, stabilizing, transforming, and sustaining.
The Dialogue Forum is to provide a bridge towards reaching out an estimated 1.2 million people that are in need of aid. In Abuja, Amina Babu Suleiman, NTA News.
And Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has expressed optimism that the National Broadcasting Commission reforms being implemented in line with presidential directives will in no way strengthen the Commission's regulatory role and make it more effective in the interest of all key players in the broadcasting industry. The minister stated this at a meeting with a group known as FIMIC in Lagos. Anthony Fosun reports.
FIMIC is made up of creative industry practitioners comprising movie producers, theater directors, and content producers, among others. The minister, while confirming the commencement of the reform, said the current management of the NBC under the leadership of the Acting Director General has confirmed the convening of a stakeholders validation conference to endorse the new initiatives in the sector, where the necessary amendments to Broadcasting Code on monopoly and anti-competition, unwholesome content on social media, and other amendments will be published to the public.
You can now see that this reform is not a fluke. I therefore want to challenge your group and other stakeholders to continue to cooperate with the industry regulator in order to ensure a faithful implementation of the recommendations.
The minister said the move is in good faith, targeting at placing the industry on a good state to enable it achieve its full potentials, hence the need for stakeholders to partner with the federal government.
The process for the amendment of the NBC Act has begun, and soon we shall be forwarding an executive bill to the National Assembly for further action. And on staff welfare, the board has received the approved recommendations and is in the process of implementation.
For the Acting Director General of the NBC, he said it is gratifying that the minister is committed to the presidential directive. Members of the group, in their separate remarks, commended the minister for the implementation of the policy, which is aimed at revolutionizing the industry for its potentials to be unlocked. The NBC Reforms Implementation Committee had submitted its report to the minister in November last year. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Reports just reaching us says the All Progressives Congress APC has called for an emergency meeting of its National Executive Committee meeting members in line with the APC Constitution Article 25B. A statement by Acting National Secretary of the party, Victor Giadom, says all members of the National Executive Committee are mandated to attend the meeting on Tuesday, March 17th by 3 p.m. at the National Secretariat of the party in Abuja. If you're just joining us, this is NTA Network News. It's time now to link up with our studio in Lagos, where Jennifer is standing by with more reports from that axis. Hello, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jumai, and a warm welcome to Lagos. Our story is on the petroleum sector. The federal government has demonstrated its commitment to revamping the petroleum industry by entrenching efficiency and transparency in the upstream and downstream sectors in line with international standards. Chairman House Committee on Petroleum Resources Upstream, Musa Sakin Ada, emphasized this during a familiarization visit to the National Petroleum Investment Management Services NAPIMS in Lagos. Lynn Leneke has the details.
The visit is part of the committee's familiarization tour of agencies within its jurisdiction. It is the committee's first visit to the National Petroleum Investment Management Services, NAPIMS. The aim is to ensure that the agency is equipped to effectively deliver on its mandate of maximizing the profit margin accruing to government. Group General Manager NAPIMS, Musa Lawan, briefed the committee members on operations, prospects, and challenges faced by the agency.
We will sit down here and promise that we will try and deliver our cost of production at a particular unit rate. But as a result of the insecurity of operations, you have to deploy so much logistics.
The Chairman House Committee on Petroleum Resources Upstream, Musa Sarki Ada, expressed concern over the downturn in oil exploration activities over the years. He, however, pledged the committee's support in the area of legislative action to impact on the growth of NAPIMS.
He has enumerated the challenges they are facing, especially the threat by some IOCs to withdraw their investment or scale down. The clamor for passage of PIV has been on over a decade, and this time around the National Assembly is poised towards passing it.
National Petroleum Investment Management Services is saddled with the responsibility of supervising the joint venture contract, production sharing, and service contract operations in the petroleum upstream sector. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
And now for details of trading of stocks and other business stories, let's join Abolade Salami. Abolade, over to you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Good evening and welcome to the Business News segment. The federal government will reevaluate some of its key assumptions in the 2020 budget, most especially the 57 naira per barrel benchmark oil price, if it's not sustainable going by the outbreak of coronavirus epidemic. Director General Budget Office said the government will review the price if an alternative means of revenue generation is not sourced.
First of all, as you know, our growth projections for 2020 were quite modest. We were targeting a 2.93%. Closed fourth quarter 2019 at over 2.4%. So it's not, it's not such a thing. So we, as I said, at the mid-year we will review, where we are, and if there's a need even to revise at the mid-year when we do the budget review, all of the assumptions will be revisited, including the growth assumption.
And now to stock market reports. Equities market records another loss as the all-share index dipped further by 0.55%. Here are details of Friday's trading. Continued sale of big cap securities has further dragged down performance of stocks on the Nigerian capital market. The all-share index after close of trade dropped by 0.55% to 26,279.61 basis points, with a volume of shares traded at 361 million, valued at 4.2 billion naira, which exchanged hands in 4,602 deals, with a market capitalization of 13.7 trillion naira. Mobil, Bois Cement and Red Stars advanced in figures, while on the flip side, Zenith Bank, Stanbic and ETI declined in figures. On sectoral performance, NS Industrial, Oil and Gas and Insurance finished in the green line, appreciating by 0.62%, 0.86% and 1.49%, while NSE Banking and Consumer Goods depreciated in figures by 2.96% and 0.12%. And that's a wrap on business news. Juma in Abuja will be back with the rest of the news after this short commercial break. Please do stay with us.
Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development cordially invites stakeholders and the general public to a one-day public hearing on the following bills and motion: Nigeria Oil Palm Industrial Park, Establishment Bill 2019 SB 171, National Rice Development Council of Nigeria, Establishment Bill 2019 SB 53, Food Security, Establishment Bill 2019 SB 11, and the urgent need to revive the palm oil industry in Nigeria. Date: Tuesday, 10th March 2020. Time: 10 a.m. Venue: Senate Conference Room 231, New Building. Special guest of honor: Senator Dr. Ahmad Ibrahim Lawan, President of the Senate. Host: Senator Dr. Abdullahi Adamu. Committee Chairman: interested stakeholders should submit 30 copies of memoranda and an electronic copy to the Committee Secretariat to Room 2.7, Senate White House, on or before Monday, 9th March 2020. For further inquiries, please call or send us an email at scardnas@yahoo.com. Committee Chairman, Announcer.
Today or 4 days when my girls won't come visit and I need to come go expire.
My guys, they can't follow me watch this match. I must not fall the hand.
Babe, what's happening now? Sorry to disappoint you, but my subscription don't expire.
The match is not on my GoTV package.
Now your holla be that. I beg, give me your phone. Make I show you how you go take do it for my GoTV app for your phone.
Life is so much easier with my GoTV app. Make payments, clear error messages, change your package. You can also check your due dates and keep abreast of your payment history.
With the corner, Matip is there.
The new My GoTV app is everything you need in one place. So what are you waiting for? Download My GoTV app now from Google Play or App Store to enjoy the easy life. GoTV. Live it, love it.
Your information dey important, just like your identity.
na the only way we fit take hala you o. Make you go browse easy.gotvafrica.com. Sign in with your IUC number and mobile number and scroll down to personal details and address. Then check well to see say everything bam. You fit change the one wey not correct. To finish everything, just click the save button and it don't finish.
Thank you. I make sure say my phone number dey correct. That's not why GoTV fit call me make I come collect my own awoof.
Angel, time for my phone in that way because now my correct phone number dey for book.
GoTV, live it, love it.
Now look me again, no. Make you go do your own.
The Gunners have won 2 consecutive Premier League matches for the first time since August. Will they be able to keep up the run of victories? Find out this weekend when Arsenal take on West Ham on the Premier League Live, shown on NTA Network at 3:30.
Welcome back. Governors of the northeast region of Nigeria have met in Gombe. Emmanuel Akile reports that it is the first time the governors are having the parley to discuss issues affecting the region.
The 6 governors of the northeast region of the country have a lot in common in terms of opportunities and challenges of development. The regional cooperation is aimed at exploring common grounds to tackle the menace of insecurity, harness economic advantages, especially the discovery of petroleum in commercial quantity in the region in recent times. Host Governor Muhammad Inuwa Yahaya, who welcomed his colleagues to the first meeting, said the time has come for the region to be united more than ever before to support the federal government to end the Boko Haram war.
The prevailing security situation poses an existential threat to our sub-region, and therefore it necessitates the need for us to convene this gathering in order to come up with a united front that can address our collective challenges as a sub-region.
Inuwa Yahaya outlined the areas of advantages available to the region in agriculture and energy, pointing out that the Northeast Development Commission means a veritable platform for equitable development of the region.
Today, our region stands on the crucible of history at a moment of serious challenge. But beyond those challenges lies great opportunities. Our sub-region is well endowed with a fertile land and precious solid minerals, coupled with our hardworking and industrious people.
Except for the governor of Taraba State, who was represented by his deputy, those of Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, and Yobe states were present. A communique detailing the way for continued consultation is expected at the end of the meeting. In Gombe, I am Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
Meanwhile, South governors have reached a decision to float a regional security outfit to mitigate insecurity in the region. This was at the South governors meeting held in the Sabah, Delta State. Tessie Koka reports.
Top on the agenda of the meeting of the South governors held behind closed door is the issue of security and economy as disclosed by the chairman of the forum, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa.
I've agreed as a region that there is a need to have a regional security outfit, and we have mandated the Brace Commission to begin to work out the details and to brief us at our next meeting, which is going to hold in Port Harcourt.
Forum also resuscitated the Brace Commission as part of the strategy of making the South region economically viable and vibrant.
The Brace Commission has established is to help us look into issues of regional economy and the need to develop our region collectively instead of working as individual states.
The forum also agreed that the 13% derivation from the federal allocation should henceforth be first-line charge in Asaba. Tessie Koka, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. We are live in Abuja, and Kemi Oshin in Ibadan also has some reports. Hello, Kemi.
Hello, Jumai, and warm welcome to Ibadan. Oyo State Police Commissioner Shina Olukolu said the renewed strategy of the command in fighting crime led to the arrest of an impostor using army uniform to commit crime, as well as 44 other suspects for various offenses. The commissioner made this known while briefing journalists on the success of the command. Correspondent Rofia Anibasham Badmus has details.
Oyo State Police Command, as part of its strategic way of combating crime and criminality in the state and deployment of logistic support, which paid off with the arrest of suspected criminals. A total of 45 suspects were arrested for offences varying from armed robbery, murder, impersonation, while exhibits like ammunition and motorcycles were recovered.
We have indeed redoubled our efforts and reviewed the security architecture, as shown in the renewed activities of the police tactical teams.
Some of the suspects confessed to the crime.
I'm a carpenter. I called one girl, so with a army round-neck t-shirt. So I now carry the girl go out, have sex with her.
Oyo State Commissioner of Police therefore advised members of the public to be security conscious at all times and careful when relating with strangers. In Ibadan, Rofia Animasham Badmus, NTA News.
You're still watching Network News on the NTA. More reports after this time out. Stay with us.
Have won 2 consecutive Premier League matches for the first time since August. Will they be able to keep up the run of victories? Find out this weekend when Arsenal take on West Ham on the Premier League Live, shown on NTA Network at 3:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Coca-Cola and Axis Bank.
That channel where you watch just now don't waka, no panic. There's me no panic. You go do it by yourself like ABC. Oh yeah, press the menu button on top your remote. Scroll up and down till you see Information Central. Then press OK. Press OK. Check the signal strength and quality. If the signal strength and quality pass 70, make you press the exit button, go back. Go advanced options, then choose installation, then go to reset and press OK. Yeah, press OK.
Wow, now you self fit catch all those channels will be one miss road by yourself. Yes, make your groove for no loss. You see as I do, Abi? And I see as I do,
Go TV. Live it. Love it.
And I see as we do,
It's good to know you're still there. Enugu State emerges winner in the football final of the NYSC Sports and Cultural Festival, which ended on Friday. Ayodiji Makinde is here with the details.